Caitlyn looked at the sunset into the waters. Everyone was heading home. Caitlyn too packed up her stall and was on her way back home after a long, tiring day of work. Caitlyn lived in Venice, Los Angeles, in California. Every morning, she would be up and early to head to Venice Beach to start her day. Caitlyn set up her own small stall on the boardwalk, where she sold her paintings alongside numerous other vendors, street artists, and performers who sold their unique pieces of art. Caitlyn started her small business about 2 years back, after she graduated from college with a bachelor's degree in fine arts. Caitlyn's paintings were extraordinary, but even after going from gallery to sell her artwork, Caitlyn wasn't able to find any success. Of course, with every passing day, things became difficult financially, and Caitlyn had to find other means of making a living. That's when she started selling her artwork on the street in the busy tourist area of Venice Beach. Caitlyn managed to fit her monthly expenses into whatever she made working there. Every day after work, she would visit the gallery where her paintings were being exhibited. It was tough getting her portfolio accepted there, but it all worked out at the end when the gallery agreed to advertise her paintings. Caitlyn wasn't too happy in her life, but she tried to pull through. She made a lot of new friends where she worked, and she often spent time at the bar on the beach. But there was only one reason she went there. It was to meet the bartender, Nolan. Nolan was an attractive young man who recently started to work there. Caitlyn liked him, and over the days they spoke, they got a chance to bond, as Caitlyn and Nolan were both Irish. Nolan had moved from Ireland a few months back. He had a hearty Irish accent, and he was quite charming. Caitlyn, however, lived her whole life in California. She only visited Ireland with her family on vacation when she was little. "Caitlyn, how's about, yeah? Got any luck?" "Nope, another bad day." "Talk about a bad day, I've had the worst day. Kept scraping my knee falling for you. Do you happen to have a band-aid on you?" "You always know how to make a girl laugh, don't you?" "No, honestly, it wasn't my fault. I wouldn't have fallen for you if you hadn't tripped me." After a rather long chat with Nolan, Caitlyn headed to the gallery. Talking to Nolan always made her feel better. Nolan always encouraged her and tried to motivate her. He was a nice guy, and meeting him always put a smile on Caitlyn's face. Caitlyn walked around the curb. The gallery was right around the corner. She was a bit surprised to see her paintings out on the street. The gallery was redecorating the exhibit. She immediately went inside to inquire about it. Caitlyn met the gallery owner. "Mr. Donovan, what's wrong? Why are my paintings outside?" "Caitlyn, it's been months. People just aren't interested in your work. I'm sorry, but it's a loss keeping them up in the exhibit. We're losing out on money. There are more painters bringing me new artwork. We need space for the new arrivals." Caitlyn sighed. She didn't know what to say. It was true. It had been many months since her paintings were on display in the exhibit, and there wasn't a single sale. "All right, Mr. Donovan, but if there's any good news, let me know. You might as well get some luck tomorrow. It's St. Patrick's Day. Cheer up, Caitlyn." Despairingly, Caitlyn arrived home. Perhaps a long snooze would make her feel better. The next morning, she woke up and headed to the beachside. The crowds were all shades of green today. Everyone was cheering and joking, but the day was going by slow for Caitlyn. Men, women, and children all huddled around the performers, and tourists gathered around the stalls. But only a few customers had come by her stall, only to leave empty-handed. By the afternoon, the crowds had gone to the beach shore, and the boardwalks were half empty. Some of the vendors were packing up, while others were still hopeful for a few more sales. Caitlyn scribbled on her paper and tried to pass the time. The sun soon set, and it was starting to get dark. One by one, the street performers and other artists packed up their belongings and headed for home. As Caitlyn was packing the last of her paintings, she noticed a statue placed just a few steps away. She looked around. There was no one in sight nearby. Caitlyn went over and looked at the statue. It was a beautifully sculpted woman, made of a green-shaded stone. Caitlyn waited for a while to see if anyone would come back for the statue, but no one did, so Caitlyn decided to take it back home with her. Caitlyn set up the statue in her room. She laid down in her bed and admired the unique piece of art. Soon, she drifted off to sleep. The next morning, as Caitlyn was on her way to the beach, she got a call from the gallery. "Caitlyn, you won't believe what happened. One of your paintings were sold. The buyer offered us such a high price, we were thundered." "What? Are you serious? Who bought it?" "He was a wealthy businessman. He was so impressed by your painting, he offered us double the price." Caitlyn was overjoyed. It was as if she had made a huge sum of money overnight. It wasn't before long that Caitlyn got another call from the gallery. The wealthy businessman that had bought her painting had brought in some more customers. Caitlyn's paintings were suddenly in demand. The gallery was now taking down other paintings to exhibit Caitlyn's work. Numerous customers were coming in to buy Caitlyn's artwork, and soon Caitlyn was among the most popular artists among the galleries in Los Angeles. She was making a lot of money and had become quite famous. After about a few months, Caitlyn took the decision to rent a better apartment and upgrade her workstation. She stopped working at the boardwalk on Venice Beach, but she still went to the beach to meet Nolan. Caitlyn was now doing well financially. She was confident with herself. It wasn't before long that she approached Nolan. Caitlyn and Nolan started to date regularly. They enjoyed each other's company. Nolan was happy for Caitlyn's success. "Close your eyes, Kate." "All right." "What do you see?" "Nothing, Nolan. That's my life without you." "Really, Nolan? Now tell me, how much do you really love me?" "Well, count all the stars in the sky." Caitlyn usually spent the mornings in her workroom at her apartment. She had reserved one of the bedrooms for her paintings. The walls were decorated with her artwork. Sometimes she would just sit and look at them. They would help bring more ideas and inspiration. As she stroked her paintbrush on the paper, she peered at one of her paintings. It was the painting of the Morrigan, a Celtic Irish goddess. She stood holding a spear and a crow. Caitlyn looked at it intently. Suddenly, she thought she saw something move. She was taken aback. She blinked her eyes and looked again. It almost felt as if, for moments, the crow had come to life. Caitlyn shook her head. Maybe she was hallucinating. She continued with her work, but over the next few days, she wasn't able to do much. Caitlyn ended up ruining all her paintings, and not because they weren't turning out good. There was something strange about whatever Caitlyn created. Whenever she looked around her room, it felt as if her paintings were coming to life. Whatever she drew on her paper seemed like it started to move. She could hear the water flowing from her painting of a river. She could see the goddess's hair swaying in the wind. Caitlyn was anxious. She couldn't understand what was happening. The paintings were messing with her mind. Caitlyn couldn't think straight. "I don't know what's happening to me, Nolan. I feel like my paintings are literally waiting to walk out of the paper. It's terrifying." "You're just getting a little stressed out. With all the work you've been doing lately, you need to take a break. Keep your mind at ease for a few days." Nolan was right. Caitlyn had been working day and night for the past 6 months. She truly needed a break. Perhaps it would help clear out her mind. Caitlyn asked Nolan to stay at her apartment for a few days. Having Nolan around would help her relax. Nolan arrived at Caitlyn's apartment the next day. Caitlyn and Nolan spent the days talking for hours, watching movies, and preparing food together. Caitlyn had totally forgotten about all her paintings. It had been 2 days since she hadn't gone into her workroom. One evening, when Nolan was in the drawing room, he noticed the statue Caitlyn had found months ago, standing to one corner beside the bookshelf. He looked concerned. "Caitlyn, where did you get the statue?" "This? I found this on the beach. Someone must have left it on the boardwalk." "You shouldn't have brought this home. You have to get rid of this right now." "Why? It's actually been a good luck charm for me. Ever since I got it, things suddenly changed." Nolan furrowed his brows. "Do you even know who the statue is of?" "This is the statue of a spirit. They call her banshee. There's an old Irish legend behind the spirit. Legends say banshee comes in the form of a beautiful woman. She seeks the love of mortals. Banshee becomes a slave to the one that refuses her, but if anyone accepts her, they belong to her. She gives inspiration to those she persecutes. The lovers of banshee are said to live brief, highly inspired lives. There is no escape from the bounds of banshee once you've accepted her. The affair only ends when the artist goes mad and eventually passes away. After that, banshee moves on to seek yet another lover. She is a restless, malignant phantom. Caitlyn, throw the statue away. Get rid of this. Perhaps this is the reason behind what's happening to you." "Nolan, really? Weren't you the one to tell me I'm experiencing all these hallucinations because of stress? The statue is nothing more than a good luck charm. What harm can it do to me? And even if it could, you said I would have to accept it for her to inspire me. Otherwise, she's my slave." "You're making a mistake, Caitlyn." "It's not a mistake. You're overreacting, Nolan. This wasn't a big deal, but I'm not going to throw this away because of a silly superstition." Nolan tried to convince Caitlyn to get rid of the statue, but Caitlyn didn't take his advice seriously. Nolan left the apartment angrily. "I tried to warn you, Caitlyn. It seems as if my words have no value to you. There's no point of me staying here or staying with you if you have no respect for what I say." Caitlyn sat all alone in her apartment. She was a bit angry at Nolan for overreacting at first. But soon, she started to feel guilty. Maybe she was the one being stubborn. Caitlyn was upset. She wanted Nolan to come back. Caitlyn went to her workroom. She hadn't opened this room the past few days. She had a great idea in mind. She would make the most beautiful painting as a gift for Nolan. She would paint Nolan himself. Maybe that will make it up to him. As Caitlyn got her paintbrushes and her palette ready, she suddenly sensed something. Had Nolan returned? She cheerfully turned around. But when she saw who was behind her, her heart sank. Caitlyn was overawed. Was this her hallucination, or was this real? She trembled as she stared at none other than banshee in her true form. She was enchanting. Her wings were beautiful. Her eyes were dazzling. In a soft, bewitching voice, she said, "It's time to go, my love." Banshee lent out her hand to Caitlyn. Caitlyn stumbled back. She pleaded, "I never accepted you. You can't take me with you." The enchanting spirit only smiled and said, "My love, who do you think left you that statue in front of your stall that night?" "You accepted me when you accepted my gift to you. Let's go. It's been long enough. It's time for you to come with me." Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting. Rain. Sheila, check if the bread is done baking. Yes, Mother. Roisin, go light the lanterns around the house. Where's your brother? He's still playing outside. The sun had set in the small town of Drogheda, Ireland. Everyone was returning home to their families and wrapping up for the night. Saoirse O'Leary, too, was waiting for her husband and her 2 elder sons to return home from the market. She went out to bring her youngest son back inside. Darren, what are you doing? Saoirse furrowed her brows, seeing her son standing in the backyard, looking out in the distance. Mother, look. There was a weasel standing there on its hind legs in the darkness, without a noise, without a movement. Strange. Saoirse quickly grabbed her son by his arm and brought him inside. Go freshen up for supper. Just then, she heard the horse carriage arrive outside. Emmett O'Leary and his 2 oldest sons, Oren and Brian, were home. Emmett was a small merchant. He owned a stall at the marketplace, and the family was quite well known and respected in the small town. How was your day? It was a rough day. You know how the market is in this season. We're starving, Mother. What's for dinner? Beef stew and soda bread. I'll go get the table ready. Saoirse hurried to the kitchen, bringing out the large pot of boiling beef stew to the table. As she was getting the bowls ready, one by one, Emmett and all of her 5 children sat round about for dinner. So how was your day? These wild animals have really increased in these woods. Recently, I've been seeing a lot of rodents enter the house. Rodents? What rodents? I went out to bring Darren and I found this weasel standing just a few feet away from him. What if it would have attacked him? They usually don't attack people. They go for small animals like chicken. No, Emmett, it was like the animal wasn't even scared. It didn't run. It was just staring at my boy. All right, I'll see what I can do. At around 9, the lights in the O'Leary's home were blown out and everyone was sound asleep in their rooms. The next morning, Saoirse was the first to wake up, as usual. She went around the house, opening the windows and doors to let in the morning sun. Though today, the skies were covered in gray clouds that barely let the sunlight seep through, but there was still a beautiful breeze in the air. Saoirse carried out a few blankets that had yet to dry from the previous day, setting them out in the yard again. As she clipped them up, she suddenly heard the bushes in her garden rustle. Not again, she sighed, running to get her rake to shoo the rodents away. But when she turned around, she was surprised to see a hare standing there. Saoirse stood still as the animal stared at her. It didn't move, it didn't run away, just like that weasel, its black eyes as if piercing into hers. Saoirse shook it off and went back inside. The day went by as usual, getting all the chores done around the house. However, now along with her daughters, everything was much easier. It was sometime near sunset. Saoirse had run out of water. The skies had already gotten quite dark, so she decided to go out herself to fetch a pail. The well was far out towards the back of her backyard. Saoirse dropped down the pail and began pulling it back up, now heavy with water. When suddenly, she became startled by the screeching sound of a crow. Saoirse stared down at the pail fall down into the murky waters again, as the crow flapped its wing, sitting on the edge of the well, opposite to her. First the weasel, then a hare, and now a hooded crow. Saoirse suddenly became a bit panicked. She left the pail and ran back into the house. She called her children inside and waited anxiously for her husband to return home. When she saw the carriage pull up, she hurried outside to assist her husband bring in the bags. What is it, Saoirse? You look worried. Emmett, I've been seeing evil omens of death. First it was the weasels, then the hare. And today I saw a hooded crow by the well. This isn't good, Emmett. This isn't good. Saoirse, I know people say this is an evil omen, but how much of this is true? But Emmett, it has come true before. You're thinking too much of it. Sometimes they come true and most times they don't. Emmett didn't pay much heed to the signs, but Saoirse was awfully frightened. But she listened to her husband and tried to put it aside. However, she continued to see this hooded crow around the house for the next few days, and she couldn't help but fear something dreadful was soon to occur. Emmett, it's like I'm seeing this evil omen in all places. Maybe we should inform the people, at least our neighbors. There's no harm in taking precaution. We have to light fire around the village. We can't let any outsiders enter in times like this. What, sweetheart, your husband is a merchant. By the end of this week, the ships are going to arrive. If we tell people about all this, business is going to fall. Saoirse, you didn't tell anyone already, did you? I only told the Flanagans. You shouldn't have, but you told them, don't tell anyone else. Saoirse just couldn't make Emmett understand, but deep down inside, she felt these signs foreshadowed something horrible was nearing them. The next day, she collected old horseshoes from her barn and hung them around the fence of her home. It would ward away all evil. Wow, you did all this? I'm going to do one more thing. What? I'm going to sprinkle salt. Salt? What is the next thing you're going to do? Burn fire around the house? Saoirse, do you know how expensive salt is? Only the rich can afford to buy salt, and see what you're doing. I'll only sprinkle a little bit. This is a small price to pay for our family's safety. Emmett sighed, seeing the worry on his wife's face. Sweetheart, we're fine. Our children are fine. Nothing bad will happen. Oh, tomorrow I'm going hunting. Have everything prepared for me. Every month, Emmett took his sons into the forest on the northern side of town and trained them to hunt. Saoirse had happily bid them farewell the next morning. Roisin, Sheila, take this. Sprinkle a little salt around the fence. Not too much, or your father will get angry, and then you'll have to eat food without salt. Okay, mother. Saoirse got everything done around the house. As the day passed, she waited for her husband and her sons to return home again, safe and sound. But today, when the sun was about to set, and there was no sign of them, she started to become worried. The day had gone well for the O'Learys. The boys had successfully hunted down a deer. As the three of them were tying the animal to bring it back home, Emmett suddenly noticed a shadow lurking beyond the trees. You boys stay here. I'll be right back. Emmett took his knife and walked towards the woods, seeing the figure standing there in the darkness. Was it just a wounded animal? He slowly inched forward, surprised to realize it was a person. Who's there? A young woman stepped out from behind the trees. What are you doing here? I'm lost. Which village are you from? I'm a traveler. I've come here from far. What is your name? Belle. Saoirse had been pacing in her front yard with her lantern for nearly an hour. When she finally saw the horse carriage arriving, she breathed out in relief when she saw her three boys carrying a deer to the house. But then, she saw someone she didn't quite recognize. A young woman got off the carriage and followed her husband inside. Saoirse, this is Belle. She's a traveler. She got lost out in the forests. Saoirse found the young woman odd. What was she doing out in the forest? Who was she, and where did she come from? Despite her suspicion, however, she couldn't refuse her to stay when Emmett had brought her home. Emmett, you know these aren't good times, and you've brought an outsider into this house? Saoirse, how could I have left her in the forest? And besides, you put all these horseshoes and even sprinkled salt around the house. If there was any evil in her, she wouldn't have been able to enter. Saoirse showed Belle to her daughter's room, where she would be staying. The young woman didn't speak much and quietly sat down. After getting food prepared, Saoirse sent Roisin to call the young woman out for dinner. Mother, I called her, but she doesn't want to eat. All she does is murmur strange poetry. Poetry about what? Something about rain. When Belle refused to have dinner, Saoirse decided to go herself and ask her. "Belle, come have dinner with us." "That's all right, I'm not hungry." That night, as Saoirse lay in bed, she felt anxious having a stranger sleeping in her daughter's room. When a few hours had come to pass and she couldn't fall asleep, Saoirse went to check up on them. She slowly slipped out of bed so not to wake Emmett, and went to her daughter's room. That's when she was startled to see Belle wasn't there. She went around the house, but Belle wasn't anywhere inside. Saoirse then hurried out and just barely spotted the young woman wearing her cloak and walking down the road. Where was she going at this time of the night? Saoirse followed after her until they soon reached near the hills. The young woman continued to climb up top until she reached the highest point and suddenly stopped. Why had she come here? As Saoirse came close to her, Belle suddenly turned around. Saoirse stumbled back in shock, seeing an old woman staring at her. Moiraine, Moiraine, Moiraine. Hearing the shrieking cry from the old woman, Saoirse clutched her chest, unable to bear the fright. It was near dawn when all the townspeople heard a shrieking cry from the hills. Emmett woke up to see his wife wasn't beside him. He hurried out to see numerous folk out on the streets. "Did you hear that? What was that noise? Who was that?" Looking for Saoirse, Emmett and some of the townsmen set out in search. It was at sunrise when Saoirse was found lifeless on the ground on the highest peak of the hills. What happened to her? It was the cry of the banshee. We heard the cry of the banshee. A banshee visited her house. It came to take her. Hearing all the townspeople begin to murmur, Emmett was devastated, remembering all the times Saoirse had warned him, but he didn't take heed to anything she said. "My wife told me she had seen an evil omen. If only I had listened to her, this wouldn't have happened." I warned them, but they didn't listen. Moiraine, Moiraine, Moiraine. The Black Death first arrived in Ireland via ships docking into the eastern ports in the summer of 1348. The plague broke out in Dublin and Drogheda, killing nearly 50% of the population of Ireland's towns in the 14th century. It is not known for certain how many people died during the Black Death, but about 25 million people are estimated to have died in Europe from the plague between 1347 and 1351. Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting. Boys, now listen to me carefully. What, Mom? Yeah, Mom? Quickly, Mom, we gotta go. You're not going anywhere. Look after your little sister, okay? Your dad and I are taking a little walk. We're not too far. Aiden, Kane, Finn, you all heard me, right? Yes, Mom, we'll watch over Ailish, don't worry. The McCarthy family had traveled to the coastal town of Howth in Dublin for a fun family picnic day by the shore. The weather was gloomy, the winds were soothing, and the view was just amazing. Aoife left her youngest child with her 3 elder ones and went to take a walk with her husband. I really needed this break, Owen. The weather is lovely today. The boys are taking care of Ailish? Wow, that's a surprise. I thought I'd be an old man by the time you actually make some time for me. Hey, it's me I'm worried about. You still look as handsome as you did when we got married. And you look all the more beautiful. Aoife and Owen held their hands, taking in a breath of relief as they watched the beautiful waves of the Dublin Bay. But those moments of peace didn't last long when they heard their 3rd child, Finn, running their way, waving his hands in the air. What happened, Finn? Finn stopped to catch his breath before he smirked and said, Ailish is missing. She's not in her stroller. What? I told you boys to look after her. Yeah, well, now she's gone. The parents looked at each other nervously, just when they heard the piercing cry of their baby daughter. They rushed back to the stroller to find Aiden and Cain climbing up the rocks. Finn squeezed through and peered in the stroller. Oh man, she's there? Mom! Ailish wailed on. Where were you boys? Aoife scolded as she picked up her agitated little baby girl in her arms. We were right here. What happened? Why is she crying again? Owen raised his brow and caught Finn by the ear. Didn't you say Ailish wasn't in her stroller? I swear, Dad, she wasn't. She didn't go missing. That was only your wishful thinking. Oh, don't cry, my baby girl. Mama is here. Mama is here. Owen and Aoife lived in a beautiful suburban home in Poppintree, Dublin, with their 1, 2, 3, and recently 4 kids. Aiden was 16, Cain 13, Finn was 9, and after 3 boys that drove the parents crazy, they finally got some relief when they had a lovely baby girl they named Ailish. Little did they know that Ailish would be worse than her 3 brothers. By the time she turned a year old and began flopping around the house, the parents felt like their once peaceful home turned into a house of mayhem. Aiden, Cain, and Finn were amateur wailers compared to Ailish. Mom, stay with me. What? What happened? Mom, I need to poo. In the middle of the night? Are you done? Nope. Are you done? Nope. Ailish, really? You didn't have to go at all? I thought I did, Mom. What is it, Ailish? My leg is hurting, Mom. Ailish? Really, Mom? Really, Ailish? All the leg pain went away as soon as I started walking with you? Mom, we're hungry. 1 minute, boys, the food is almost ready. Mom, hug. Mom, hug. Mom, hug. Ailish, not now. But Ailish's tantrums or her cravings for love at strange hours of the night was the least of issues the parents had to bear. What made things worse was that the boys didn't watch after their sister at all, and oftentimes it led to incidents that could have had horrible repercussions. Like the time when the boys were playing basketball upstairs and happened to hit Ailish. If Aoife hadn't gotten there in time hearing her cry, the girl would have fallen down the stairs in just fractions of a second. Mom, Cain threw the ball at my head. What? No, Mom, I didn't. Ailish came in the way. Of course she's going to come in the way. That's why you're not supposed to be playing here. She's a baby. No, she deliberately came in the way. I saw her. You saw her, and you didn't stop her. Did I not warn you all not to play with the ball inside the house? But Mom, we didn't break anything. Mom, it hurts. That's enough. You boys are grounded. There could have been a big accident today. My little Ailish, let's go put some ice on that. Aiden, be careful, okay? You're not a child anymore. Watch out on the swing. Yeah, if these idiots listen to me for once. Come on, let's go to the backyard. Boys, where is Ailish? She was crying. We sent her inside to you. When? I thought she was with you boys. No. Aiden, how could you leave your sister outside? Aoife ran outside to hear a muffled cry far out in the backyard. She found Ailish sitting on the ground with her clothes torn and stuck on one of the branches. There was mud all over her and little scrapes and bruises. It seemed that she had tried to climb the tree and fell off. I can't believe you boys can be this irresponsible. You're lucky your sister didn't break a limb. You're lucky some wolves didn't come to attack her. What if she got kidnapped? A lot of things could have happened. But Mom, we didn't do anything. We swear she came inside. Exactly. You were told to be careful, but you did nothing but be careless. Come on, Ailish. Mom will get you cleaned up. The boys were always complaining about Ailish, making up excuses to get away from trouble, and sometimes those excuses were outright absurd. Like the time Aoife ran into Ailish's room hearing a shattering noise. She was shocked to see Finn on the ground, and her glass vase shattered on the floor. How did this happen? Mom, it was her. Ailish hit me. I saw her getting out of the crib, and I came inside and she picked me up and threw me onto the table, and the vase fell. Really, Finn? Really? You couldn't make up a better story? It's the truth, Mom. You don't know what she's capable of. Don't yell, Finn. You're making Ailish scared. Come on, baby girl. It's all right. No, Mom. She's not a human. She's an animal. Finn? But as Aoife took her daughter into her arms, she got a bad feeling something wasn't right. When she looked at her boys, she could figure in seconds if they were lying or saying the truth. And when she looked at Finn, he wasn't lying. But how could this be? Ailish's constant tantrums, these bizarre accidents, could there be something more to it? The incidents were always occurring almost every other day, and they were ridiculously strange. Aoife was at a constant fear of something horrible happening, and oftentimes got up in the middle of the night to check up on everyone. It was on one of those nights that she stepped out of her room, hearing little footsteps in the kitchen. Curiously, she followed to find Ailish climbing in the refrigerator, eating a chunk of raw meat she had picked up earlier that day from the butcher's. Ailish, put that down. What are you doing? Mom, I'm feeling hungry. Aoife immediately washed Ailish's mouth and hands, hoping she wouldn't get sick. But when Owen heard of the incident, he was suspicious of something else. Out of all things, she ate the raw meat, with those 4 little teeth of hers. It could happen. She curiously opened the fridge. She didn't understand. Babies put everything in their mouth. That's all okay, but how did she come out of the crib, out of her room, manage to open the fridge and pull down that heavy chunk of meat from the top shelf? As the strange occurrences continued, Aoife started to become suspicious of Ailish. Was there something wrong with her? However, unable to look past her love for her baby girl, Aoife overlooked the matters. She noticed Ailish would be better behaved if Aoife would just keep the child with her all the time. So that's just what she did, tending to the child's needs 24/7. Come the start of winter, the weather became awfully cold. It was one quiet evening that Aoife cleaned out the fireplace and started a fire. She was a little worried knowing Ailish might be intrigued by it and go to touch it. But strange as it was, she stayed far away from the fire. She kept wailing and screaming for the fire to be turned off. Ailish, the house is freezing. Mom can't put off the fire right now. Come with me. Nothing will happen. You're safe in my arms. Mom, can we roast marshmallows? Oh, why don't you tell us a story? Aoife was awestruck to see how scared Ailish was. Even sitting on her lap, she had to forcefully make her sit by the fire, rubbing her hands together to get her warm. When suddenly, Ailish screamed out. Everyone widened their eyes, hearing a voice they didn't recognize. Ailish jumped away from the fire, suddenly taking a new form. Her true form. Mom, what was that? What happened to Ailish? I knew it all along. Look after your little sister, okay? Your dad and I are taking a little walk. We're not too far. Aiden, Kane, Finn, you all heard me, right? Yes, Mom, we'll watch over Ailish, don't worry. Hey, let's play catch. Finn, you threw it into the water. Come on, let's go get it before it floats too far. Look, look, look. What a beautiful little human child. Who's going to stay back this time? Me. I've been asking for this for a long time now. No, that's not fair. It's my turn. No, none of you will stay behind. I'm the youngest here. I should get to replace it. Fine, deal. Come on, little baby girl. Oh, don't you look just beautiful? Go, quickly. Take her and leave. I'll go get a branch or something to fish it out. Ailish is missing. She's not in her stroller. Don't cry, my baby girl. Mama is here. Mama is here. That lovely day in Hode, when the parents rushed back, hearing their baby's cries, wailing on and on for attention, Aoife scooped up the squirming child in her arms, giving her the kind of comfort only a mother could give. But little did she know, the babe in her arms was not the child that she bore, but one of the fairy folk, a changeling that so desired the love of the humans that it swapped places with the human child. I knew she was a changeling. A changeling? You mean one of the fairy folk who swaps places with human babies so that they can be brought up in the love and care from a human mother? That's why she's always so cranky and fussy. That, or it can always be a pact with the devil. Wait, hold on a minute. Then where is our sister? She's in the fairy world. Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting.